You're the goodest boy. Mommy loves you so much.
Hello, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. If you are new here, hi, my name is Carrie. I am a TV host and I live in Kansas City, Missouri. I have a fresh coffee and my little sidekick Doogie.
Mommy loves you so much.
A lot of you guys are here because you love my rescue content, which warms my heart. And I've made a lot of videos about fostering, but I want to talk today about adopting the perfect rescue dog for you. I'm very open and honest with the fact that I used to buy dogs from breeders. I grew up with a breeder dog. My first dog out of college was a breeder dog. Like, I always had breeder dogs. And it wasn't until my first dog, Lila, she's a purebred Chinese Shar Pei, I rescued her. And it wasn't until I got her that I really opened my heart and my mind to the rescue world. And since then, I have not gone back. Obviously, I never will. That's all I want to do forever forward. And I really want to help other people see that there are amazing dogs in shelters just waiting for a second chance at life. That being said, it is so important that you take the time to find the dog that is right for you. And that does take a little bit of work, I'm just being honest, but it is the best way to go about it. You should not get a dog passively. You should not just wake up one day and decide to get a dog. Like, please do not do that. Like, think about it, put time into it, and really get the dog that will fit your lifestyle. More than anything, you need a dog that will fit your lifestyle. So today I'm gonna run you through some of the steps you need to find your perfect rescue dog. The very first thing you need to do is you need to have a conversation with every person that lives in your home or where you're living. And you need to have a conversation with them to see where they're at, to get on board, to get an understanding, to be in the same place when it comes to getting a dog. This seems like a super basic concept, but you would not believe how many times we get applications to our rescue to adopt a dog, and we reach out to the landlord or to someone else living in the house. Like, they'll put the number of someone else living in the house, and the person who's living in the house with this person has no clue that this other person applied for a dog. It's crazy. Like, tell everyone in your house, if you live with a significant other, if you have like a grandma, a grandpa, kids, whatever it is, like, everyone needs to be on board and needs to be aware that getting a dog is something that you want. So have that conversation. The next thing you need to do is think about what you want in a dog. Some questions you should ask yourself. What is your lifestyle like? Do you travel a lot on the weekends, or do you stay home a lot? Do you like to be out hiking in nature, exploring, doing things, or are you more of a Netflix and chill kind of person? Be really honest about the things you have access to and the things you do not have access to. What I mean when I say that is, do you have a yard? Do you have a big yard? Do you have a small yard? Do you have a fence but it's short with slats in it? Do you have a tall 6-foot privacy fence? Or do you live in an apartment? Do you have access to trails where you can exercise the dog? If you do live in an apartment, do you have access to other ways that the dog can get their energy out? What is your work schedule like? Do you work a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday? Do you work at home? Do you have flexibility in your hours? What do you think that you can realistically, physically handle in a dog? If you are 5'1" and 100 pounds, maybe don't, adopt a Mastiff that's 120 pounds. Are you looking for an active dog that you can take on hikes, runs, walks, or are you looking for a dog that'll be your cuddle buddy on the couch? If you're not someone who likes to spend a ton of time outside or likes to exercise, do not target like dogs that need a ton of exercise. Like, it's just a recipe for disaster. So be honest about your lifestyle and how you see that dog fitting into your lifestyle. Are you okay with a potty training process, or maybe a chewing phase? Because those are gonna be things that you have to deal with when it comes to puppies. If those aren't things you think you can realistically keep up with, or maybe you live on the 24th floor of a high rise, then maybe going through a potty training process right now isn't exactly the right fit for you. Maybe you're looking for a dog that's potty trained and has the basics of living in a house down, but still has some growing up to do and some teenager traits to break out of. Then maybe a dog in the 1 to 2 to 3-year-old range is good for you. If you're looking for a dog with a little bit more life experience and you don't want to go through all those steps, maybe an adult or even a senior dog would be a good fit for you. I am telling you, adopting a senior dog is so underrated. There's so many times where people get like a young dog and they're not happy with it and they tell me what they want, and I'm like, you should have adopted a senior dog. Like, what you need and what you want is definitely more of like an adult type of dog. And if you would have answered these questions beforehand, you maybe would have found that answer ahead of time. These are all very basic questions that I believe you need to have a solid handle and a solid understanding of before you even start to look at dogs. All right, let's talk about actually looking at dogs. There's nothing wrong with going online and looking at the dogs on the website or the Facebook pages. That type of stuff is so fun. But I am begging you, please do not fall in love with a dog just based on their picture. This is a recipe for disaster. If you do find a dog that you like, go to the page on that rescue, and if they have a bio written up, read about that dog. Find out what they might be like. There's nothing wrong with really loving how a dog looks, of course, but just know that there is so much more that needs to go into finding a good fit than you just like thinking they're cute. As someone who screens applications for a rescue, it means the world to me. It makes my day when we get an application and we ask on the application, like, what dog are you interested in? And they can put a couple of dogs. But when people put on there, oh, this one and this one caught my eye, but I'm open to your suggestions. That makes our day because it really gives us the time and the space to match the dog with the person. My next line of advice is to look at a couple rescues. If you live in the metro area, there is probably a handful of rescues that you can choose from. Here in Kansas City, there are plenty of rescues that you can go and choose from. So check them out online, but then pick a couple to go visit in person. Like, don't go to one rescue and just think that that's your only choice of where you can choose from. There are so many rescues with so many different types of dogs, and just be open to going to see a couple or to learning about a couple. There's a lot here in Kansas City that are really good rescues, but they're foster based, so you need to reach out to them. Like, just keep an open mind about where you can get your dog from. Okay, so you have found a couple rescues that you want to go look at dogs at. That's great. The next step is filling out an application. The most important part of the application process is to be 100% honest. I cannot stress this point enough. Really, I cannot. It is so important. If you are not being honest with your application, we really cannot give you the full picture of what dog might fit your needs. Here's an example. We have had people who are empty nesters apply, and on our application we ask how many people in the home, how many adults, how many kids, so forth. And they'll put 2 adults and no kids, which is true technically. But also they have grandkids who are young and come to their house 3 days a week. It's important that we know that information. So while you may technically be empty nesters, be honest about the people that come to your house often. We need to be able to pair you with a dog that's gonna be okay with kids. Not every dog is fit for a kid household. If that is your situation in your home, please, I'm begging you, just be honest with us. It would be devastating if we put a dog that was not safe for kids into a home where there was kids often. Like, it's devastating, truly. Like, do not put us in that situation. Do not put yourselves in that situation. Like, just do not lie to us. Okay, you filled out an application and you have been completely honest in every way on the application. Amazing. Okay, now you are scheduling a time, or you are making time to go meet dogs at the shelter. This is so exciting and fun. I'm gonna reiterate something I said before. Have an open mind about the dogs that they wanna show you. It's okay if you have one in mind, if you've fallen in love with one via looking at their website or their picture. It's okay to be like, I'm here, I really want to meet this dog. That's okay. But if they tell you, hey, we have this other dog and I think you might really hit it off with this dog, or they might really be what you're looking for, listen to them. Take in their account. The people at the shelter know these dogs best. And if they're saying that they think this dog might be a good match for you, like, hear them out and meet all the dogs that they want you to meet. At the end of the day, though, it is your job to pick out the dog that is best for you. So if for any reason you feel like shelter staff is pushing a certain dog on you for whatever reason, we don't do this at all. And we have never will do this, but we're a smaller shelter. But if it's a big shelter and they're trying to specifically push a specific dog onto you, just take a deep breath. You do not need to take a dog that is not right for you. Like, tell them you want to go home and think it over, or just, whatever you have to do, take a deep breath, but do not let someone push a dog onto you that is not your dog. Like, you have to advocate for yourself and advocate for what you want in a dog. And if they bring you a dog and it's not the right fit, that's okay. Just tell them. Please be honest with them and tell them what you think is the best dog for you. My next advice is to ask a lot of questions of the rescue and anyone who's there showing you dogs about the dogs that you're seeing. You are, of course, gonna meet this dog, so you're gonna get a face-to-face impression with them, which is great, but it is so important that you're asking where this dog came from. What is their story? What's their health like? How are they with other dogs? Have they been around kids? How are they around cats? How are they in their kennel? Are they potty trained? Like, they might not know the answers to all these questions, but it's important that you're asking as much as possible so that you can get a full spectrum picture of what this dog is like. Because the truth is, in these meet and greets, you are often only seeing one version of the dog. The dog is probably really happy to see you. They're probably go-lucky, giddy, all over the place, doing great things, happy to see you, loving on you, which is great, but the dog isn't always gonna be like that. And it's important that you hear from the staff who knows that dog about what he's like when he's just chilling. So ask questions. Do not feel bad about asking questions. Ask all the questions. At the end of the day, if you've gone through this entire process and it doesn't feel right, or you feel like you haven't found your dog yet, leave. Go home, think it over. Tell the people there, this was great, thank you so much. We are gonna go home and think it over and discuss and make a decision from there. Please do not go to a shelter thinking I need to take a dog home today. Now you need to keep in mind that a dog that you go see and fall in love with might get scooped up by someone else while you're thinking about it. That might be the case, that happens. But you also just need to be fully on board. You need to know that this is your dog. You need to be ready to invest in this dog and his life. So just don't make this decision flippantly. That's what I'm saying. If you need a night to sleep on it, sleep on it. If you want to go to another rescue and meet more dogs, then do that. Be totally comfortable with the situation you're making, with the decision you're making, excuse me, and stand firm in that. I'm gonna make a whole other video about your first couple of days at home with your new rescue dog, but my very overarching advice for step one of that is plan for time at home. While the dog is settling in, please do not have like a big party the next day. Please do not go on vacation the next day and leave him with your neighbor. Like, plan to be at home around this dog as much as you can. This is why whenever I've gotten a new foster dog, I've always gotten the dog on a Friday right after work, because that gives me all of Friday evening to spend with the dog. All of Saturday, I make sure that I'm not doing anything Saturday or Sunday to really be with this dog and help them settle in. I have heard horror stories of people adopting a dog and then having like a party the next day and it has not gone well. Or I have heard of people adopting a dog and then a week later going on vacation and leaving the dog with like a friend, and the people don't know enough about the dog to tell the neighbor how to take care of the dog. And again, it's just a bad situation for everyone. Like, please just do not do that. Give your new dog time to get to know you, to get to know the house, to get to know the space. Last but not least, if you are not sure if you want to get a dog, if you're on the fence, maybe I want to get a dog, maybe I don't, please try fostering. It is the best way to really see if you're ready. Obviously, if you've been here, you know how life-changing I feel like fostering is, and I have made tons of videos. I will link them all down below when it comes to my advice for fostering and some vlogs about dogs I've fostered in the past. I fostered almost a dozen dogs. I'm on number 11. So 11 dogs I've fostered, so I know a thing or two. But fostering is truly a really good way to find out if it's right for you. And if you're not ready for like your own dog full time, then that's okay. You just foster and the dog goes on to live happily ever after, but you get your dog fix. There's a girl in our organization right now, and she's been a foster for us for a couple of years, and she doesn't have her own dog. She just fosters dogs. And when we ask her why she doesn't have her own, there have been a couple times where we've been like, are you gonna foster fail? And she's like, no, I don't know if I'm ready to have my own dog. And so she just continues to foster. And it's incredible that she gives the gift of fostering to so many dogs. But I really respect that she like is like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready, so I'm just gonna continue fostering. The other thing I always tell people is that it's a good way to test out a dog. A lot of the rescues in the area here will do something called foster to adopt, which means that you will foster the dog for a week or two. And during that time, you will decide if you want to adopt them. If you don't want to adopt them, then you will just foster them until they get adopted. Or if it's foster to adopt, if you do decide to keep them, then they will just be yours happily ever after. A lot of you guys know Doogie's story. I will leave a link down to his story below because I documented it all here on this channel, but he was a foster fail. I was fostering him for like 2 or 3 weeks, and after that time, like I just knew he was my dog, but I didn't know that right away though. I really didn't. I did not bring him into my home thinking that he was my dog. It wasn't until a couple weeks into it that I was like, oh yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog. He's not going anywhere. He's here forever. Him and me, we're buddies. Like, I didn't know that right away. And fostering gave me the ability to see if he would fit in my home, and he does. He's perfect. He's my best friend. I love him. And I'm so grateful that I got to try him on for size while I was fostering. So just keep in mind, if you're not finding the right dog, or if you meet a dog at the shelter and you're like, this could be the right fit, but I'm not sure, ask the shelter about fostering that dog. All right, you guys, I hope you found this informative and helpful. I wholeheartedly believe that everyone can find their perfect dog in a shelter. You need to know what you're looking for, know what your lifestyle is, and at the end of the day, just be able to discern which dog will fit best into your life. If you can successfully do those things, I'm telling you, you will find your perfect rescue pup. Speaking of finding your perfect rescue pup, it is time for me to take Doogie to the dog park, so I'm gonna leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching. Wherever you are in the world, I am sending you so much love. I'll see you again very soon in my next video. Bye.